What's good, everyone? It's the one and only NY Phenom. If you guys enjoy NFL NBA content, want to see some more gaming content soon, give this video a like, and if you're new, go and subscribe to the channel while you're at it. Now, let's go and get into this video. Listen, back at it with some more Knicks talk, man. Well, it's looking like Tom Thibodeau is going to be the coach. It's looking like Tom Thibodeau is going to be the next coach for the Knicks, and I'm 50-50 about it. I really am. First thing first is I like Mike Miller. I know he's the interim coach, and teams rarely ever keep the interim coach as the new head coach. It rarely ever happens. I can't name a coach that stayed. NBA, just talking NBA wise, because in the NFL it's happened with Freddie Kitchens and it's happened with a few other coaches. But in the NBA, when the coach gets fired in the middle of the season, usually the interim coach doesn't stay for the upcoming season. He's not really in the future plans. And especially with our case, getting rid of our president of operations, most likely going to get rid of our GM, Scott Perry. It's looking like we're just going to rebuild everything from the top when it comes to our front office. And, in other cases with the Rockets, when they got rid of Kevin McHale, brought in, J.C. Bickerstaff. J.C. Bickerstaff wasn't the coach for the upcoming year. Mike D'Antoni, he came in and, replaced Kevin McHale fully as the new head coach. But my thing, to get back on topic, listen, in my opinion, I think Tom Thibodeau is a good coach. He is. We know that he's tough on defense. I mean, his teams, besides the year that he was in Minnesota with Wiggins and Towns and Butler, that was the only year where, he didn't have a good defensive team overall wise, just by the rankings. But every year he was in Chicago, every time he was in Chi-Town with the Bulls, with the teams with Butler and Joakim Noah and Paul Gasol, Derrick Rose. I mean, these teams have always been great on defense. Luol Deng, Keith Bogans. He always brought the intensity on defense. His team's always been tough. They always brought it every single game, and we know Tom Thibodeau. He likes to play his star players a lot of minutes. I mean, there's no coincidence that everywhere Tom Thibodeau goes, his players are always averaging around 38, 39, 40 minutes a game, and that gives your players a lot of experience and all. It gives your players, it gives your star players a lot of playing time. However, that can take it can take a wear on you. It can wear you down throughout the season. That's probably, why Joakim Noah, Luol Deng, and of course Derrick Rose careers, their peak ended really quickly and, dealt with injuries because he would play his players too many damn minutes. And that's really my concern. That's one of my concerns with, bringing a Tom Thibodeau in. Because I don't want RJ Barrett going to, year 3, year 4, already, leading the league in minutes. I mean, it can work at times for RJ Barrett, 19 years old. I mean, those, 19, 20, we got a young team. RJ Barrett, Money Mitch, Ntilikina that I'm going to speak about. All these players can play, a lot of minutes a game. But that can take a toll on you. It really can. So you have to find a way how to balance that. And I'm not sure Tom Thibodeau, if he's learned to balance minutes. If he's going to still, cost his players, big time injuries due to the amount of minutes he gives the star players, that I don't want that. I don't want RJ Barrett to pretty much be at the tail end of his peak by his 6th or 7th season in his career. I mean, I just don't want that. But at the end of the day, he's great at getting the best out of some players on defense. Like we already talked about that and all that. But my thing is, I believe Tom Thibodeau, just how my man CP from Knicks TV, shout out to him, how he explained it yesterday. I think Tom Thibodeau is best at coaching veterans. I think he's best at coaching a team full of veterans because that's what he expects. He expects discipline and smart plays on the court. He doesn't expect foolishness. He doesn't expect players going out there half-heartedly. Like, I just couldn't see Tom Thibodeau coaching a team with Kevin Knox and Dennis Smith Jr. and Dotson and all our players. I mean, I just couldn't expect it. I mean, he doesn't have a tolerance for mistakes being made on the floor. He's from that Greg Popovich tree. He's from that Pat Riley tree. He's from that type of tree. I'm not sure if that's what we need at the time. I want to see our young players develop. Like I said, let's build around R.J. Barrett. Let's build around Money Mitch and whatever we do at the point guard situation. Can we try to see if Kevin Knox can, get back on the right road, get back on track to become what we thought he could be as a star, as somewhat of a star two-way player, which we haven't seen that. Kevin Knox has definitely regressed from his rookie year, and everything's going down and down and down to the point where even Knicks fans and me, we talking about should we send Kevin Knox to the G League, or is it called the G League, D League? Who cares? We're at the point where we're talking about sending Knox to a development team. So, I'm not sure Tom Thibodeau really wants to be put in that situation. I think if I'm Tom Thibodeau and Tom Thibodeau, he probably wants to go to a veteran team. He probably wants to go to a team like, I don't know, what's the star veteran team? Let us say if the Rockets were to somehow don't go far in the playoffs and they get rid of Mike D'Antoni. I could see Tom Thibodeau going there. I could see Tom Thibodeau going to a team like, I don't know, the whoever, any team full of veterans, okay? Any team full of veterans trying to get the most out of their star players. I think that's where Tom Thibodeau is his best as a coach. But, a team full of young players like R.J. Barrett, Kevin Knox, Money Mitch, and the crew, I mean, I just don't see the fit. I really don't. I just don't. I don't think Tom Thibodeau will have the tolerance and patience for the mistakes that will be made on the floor. Like I said, R.J. Barrett's a savior. He's going to save us from evil. However, it's a process. You got to trust the process, baby. So, at the end of the day, I just think we should just keep Mike Miller, honestly. I really think Mike Miller and our team we're bonding together. And that's where development can be made. But, I guess we'll have to see how it plays out, man. Leon Rose most likely is going to get his team introduction. He's going to get his introduction most likely this week, so we'll see how that plays out. But, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm 50-50 with it. I'm 50-50 with the Tom Thibodeau, coming to the Knicks. Not saying that he's not a good coach. All right, Tom Thibodeau is one hell of a coach. I mean, I can say that all day long. But I'd rather have someone, if we were to get rid of Mike Miller, why not bring in someone like a Mark Jackson, who's proven throughout his coaching career, especially with the Golden State Warriors, that he knows how to develop players. Don't get it twisted. Steve Kerr, we know him as the coach that, was able to put the Warriors over the hump, was able to put the Warriors over the top. But don't get it twisted, man. Like Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, Mark Jackson had a really huge impact in the development of a Steph Curry and a Klay Thompson and a Draymond Green. So, at the end of the day, I would like to see what Mark Jackson can do with R.J. Barrett, what he can do with the Kevin Knox, what he can do with the Money Mitch. And plus, he's a native. He's a Queens native. He's from New York. So at the end of the day, I think that would be the perfect fit if we were to get rid of Mike Miller. But at the end of the day, I'd rather just keep Mike Miller. I like what I see from Mike Miller. He brings the toughness. He brings all the gritty NBA coaching attributes that you would want out of an NBA coach. But, Leon Rose, new president, wants to bring his own crew. Wants to bring his own crew of staff, new coaches, new people in the front office, and that's how it usually works out. So, I really don't expect Mike Miller to be back. As far as Frank Ntilikina, listen, him being injured with a groin injury, I think he's going to miss around 1 or 2 weeks. At least that's what it's looking like right now. Listen, that sucks because I want to see Frank Ntilikina and all these all the point guards on the team. I want to see them prove who can win the battle. Who can win the battle going to next year, as our starting point guard. Because right now, of course, we got Elfrid Payton, who right now is looking like the best PG on the team. Dennis Smith has the most potential. I mean, this guy has the most athletic ability. He's abreast of creating his own shot, has athletic gifts out the world, but hasn't been able to put things together. And we know the all-world defense that Frank Ntilikina brings. So it's unfortunate that Frank Ntilikina is going to have to miss some time, but, maybe he can develop a jump shot while he's injured. Hopefully he can just work on his rotation on the ball, and maybe he becomes a solid perimeter jump shooter when he comes back. But, at the end of the day, listen, with all this news being said, it's interesting. I want to see how things play out. If Tom Thibodeau does become a New York Knicks, does become the next New York Knicks coach, I won't bug out. I won't, but it'll be pretty unfortunate because I would like to see what Mike Miller could do with this team for the upcoming future. And before I go, I do want to say one thing. For all you guys getting disrespectful, and definitely my fellow Knicks fans just getting disrespectful about the LaMelo Ball vid I made a few days ago, it's just an opinion, man. It's just an opinion. Like, chill, all right? Chill. At the end of the day, we all are Knicks fans. I just see things from a different perspective. I don't think LaMelo Ball is any good. I really don't. Okay, I mean, if you guys want to go out there and give your own opinion about it, if you guys think that I'm bugging out or I'm wilding, I mean, it is what it is. But at the end of the day, I just don't see it from LaMelo Ball. And I was actually watching some tape of Cole Anthony too. I don't see it from him either. Like I said, I'd rather trade the pick than draft anyone in the top 5. This draft class looks terrible. I haven't really checked out that big. A lot of people are bigging up that big that's coming out this year. I believe he's coming out from Memphis, I believe. So maybe he's good, but at the end of the day, we got Money Mitch. So big man, at least at the center position, is not a need. I mean, if we were going to go after, if there was a star power forward, star small forward in this draft, I'll be all for it, going for that type of player, but I just don't see that. So at the end of the day, in my opinion, I'm going out. If I'm Leon Rose, first thing I'm doing is, trying to trade that pick. Trying to trade a pick for a top pick next year and, see how that plays out. But that's all I really got to say. Knicks fans, if you want this smoke, come at me. Any NBA fans, come at me, man. Real talk. That's it. That's all. Subscribe to the channel for me. I'm the Phenomenal, and I'm out. Deuces.